Hi, Luke from Korg here. I'm here at Absolute Music and we're looking at the Volca Modular. So this is our foray into the modular world. So it uses West Coast synthesis, which is a little bit different from a subtractive East Coast synthesis we're kind of used to at Korg. And yeah, but it's very, very interesting and simple to use once you get your head around the different terminology that we started using with this. Comes with all these amazing little baby patch cables to get you started with patching. But what's interesting is that it's semi-modular, which means it will work straight out of the box before you even need to start using any of these patch cables. So let me just talk you through what's going on the panel. So here we've got our oscillator section. So there's two oscillators. Of course, it's fully analog. You've got two triangle waveforms. And then when you play, you hear one of them. And it's frequency modulated by the second oscillator once you start bringing it in. So you've got the modulation, which is what that's for. You've also got fold, which is like wave shaping. So as I bring that in, you'll hear extra harmonics coming in and out. And once you frequency modulate with the second oscillator, you can then use the ratio to adjust the pitch of that second oscillator from 2 octaves below to the same pitch or higher. So that's how that oscillator section works. Then you follow these lines and it tells you that what's connected and what isn't without patching. So we're through to our first what we call function, which is basically an envelope. So we've got attack and release. So you can see that the release is already lit up a little bit, but we can make it longer, or we can snap it up a bit, or we can also adjust the attack to make the sound come in slower. We've also got these dual LPGs, so we have effectively a filter here, it's cut off. And then that's fed through to this effect at the very end, which is like a space echoey reverb. You can have just a little bit. We can have something quite extreme. So I'm just going to leave it dialed in a little bit. So you've got obviously your panel along the bottom there, a chromatic keyboard, but you can set it to lots of different scales as well. And of course, it's a Volca, so it has a step sequencer built in. So you have 16 different patterns, and you record those with the memories here. So I'm going to go for this pattern, press play. There's my pattern playing. And of course you can then tweak that on the fly. So it really comes into its own though once you start tweaking it and of course using the patch cables. So the fun really starts once you start using these patch cables. So I'm going to create, using this function, an LFO. So all I do is I take that function, loop it back on itself, and then I can effectively send it wherever I want. So using the plus output there, I can send it say to the fold, and as soon as I do that you see it starts flashing, and that's the rate of this particular function here, and you can hear there what's happening. Plus you can then use the shape to have quite a soft transient, or if I go the other way, a little bit more aggressive. So I can, something like that, I can really change the way that function works, and also change the rate, as you can hear there. I can also send it to other places. So for instance, I could send it to this modulation, and you can see that's now flashing. Or it could be the pitch. So you can go from something quite slow and cyclic to something very rapid like that one, for example. We've also got another function on the Volca Modular called Woggle. Some people might understand this to be sample and hold. It's a very similar kind of function to that. What that allows you to do is take the output and then send it again wherever you want to randomize a particular function. So in this case, I'm going to send it to the pitch. That allows me to trigger different pitches randomly, or in a more stepped way. Like that. We've also got lots of other patching available, including ways to split the signal, and CV, of course. So we have CV in, so we can send CV signals from other modular gear to talk to the Volca Modular. And of course, just like all of the other Volcas, it's got sync in and out, as well as having battery power and an internal speaker. So the sync in and out allows you to just connect as many Volcas as you want, daisy chain them together, and they'll all be in sync. So when you press play on the sequencer, they'll all be the same BPM, which is obviously very good. So that's the Volca Modular. I hope you've enjoyed this little presentation, and they're available now. Go and check them out. What's also cool is they come with this card. So that gives you a few kind of basic patches to get going with. And also on the back there, you've got all the different categories of the sound design, which I've been talking about here, all listed on the back. So we've given you a little bit of help to get you started. But yeah, go and check one out. They're in store now. And I've been looking forward. Thanks for listening.